Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nayaswami Padma, and I'm here today to present Yogananda's Whispers from Eternity. And this is a very sacred day. It is the day when we commemorate his birth in 1893. I didn't think about it ahead of time, but let's see, that's 728, 128 years ago. And we feel especially blessed that he came, that our prayers, our cumulative prayers through the incarnations brought him back here to this earth plane to share his vibrations and his teachings with us. He came to show the underlying similarity between the teachings of Christ and the teachings of Krishna. And he was sent at the behest of his Satguru, Babaji, to come to the West and to help us, you and I, have our own direct experience of God who resides within us, primarily through meditation, but it's much broader than that: devotion, service, selfless service. There are many, many aspects to it. And so this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, it's a very apt prayer demand because it's called Flowers and Skies, Herald of Thee. Flowers, cloud scattered skies, and all beautiful blossoming scenery, all these only suggest thy divinity. I enjoy them, I revel in them, but then they remind me of thee. And in that remembrance, these mere, though glorious messengers vanish, and the beauty of my own beloved infinity enthralls me. How amazing is that experience of divine consciousness that he's describing, that the hint of the divine in the beauty that we see around us. It's, of course, easiest to see the divine in beauty. There are many, many difficult things going on in the world today, and genocides and extreme challenges to individual souls and nations and people. And of course, we long one day to have the equanimity and the divine awareness to be able to see God's hand in those moments as well. But for most of us, it's easiest to have that divine remembrance when we are seeing things that are beautiful. And he's talking about lifting the veil from the material reality, seeming reality of those things, and seeing the divine in those moments. I remember being awestruck and impressed when we were at Ananda in Assisi, Riemann and I. We were there many times through the years, but on this occasion, we had the opportunity, and since then we've had the opportunity again several times, to be at the Basilica of St. Francis and to go down into a room that is way down towards the bottom, and tours don't go there. Most people don't get to see it. But our friends there were able to arrange it so that we could go into this room. And it was the room of Saint um, Joseph of Cupertino. And Saint Joseph of Cupertino was a disciple of Saint Francis, but centuries later. And he was a very high soul spiritually. And as it happened, when he would see the image, not of Jesus, not of Jesus as a babe, as a child or a baby, not of Mary, the Divine Mother representation, but of the baby image of Mary. When he would see the image, and he had on his altar this little doll that represented that image of Mary as a baby, symbolically, metaphysically, with the teachings of the East. And as Yogananda explains it, the Divine Mother is represented in Mary in Christian tradition, or I should say in Catholic tradition. I don't know. I was born in a non-religious family and we were Jewish to boot. So I know very little about the details of Christianity, but in any case, what I'm trying to say, Mary represents the Divine Mother. And so here is this image of Divine Mother as a babe. And St. Joseph of Cupertino would go into ecstasy whenever he saw that image, that doll that he had on his altar. He was basically locked away in that room at the bottom of the basilica because he would levitate every time he saw that image anywhere. And there was such an image in the main sanctuary up high above in the basilica. So they locked him away because they couldn't bear to have him levitating and have the people of the area who were there for mass or whatever see that and not be able to contain him. And because they could clearly see that he was in a high exalted state, they longed to see him. And of course, the priests, the other priests didn't like that. And so they locked him away. But that's a very long way of saying that an image, and it can be but a flower, it can be but a leaf, it can be a piece of dirt, it can be anything, any image that we hold dear, that is God reminding to us. That's the practice of japa in the East, or practicing the presence in the West, is all about surrounding us with those images, those thought forms, those words periodically that are God reminding to us, and then saying them over and over if it's a word, or having it at your desk, or having that image on your altar. Whatever it is that is God reminding to us, recognizing that it's but a symbol. And when the experience of divine ecstasy comes to us, the veil is lifted and we see that divine presence everywhere. But until that moment, let's surround ourselves with all things that are God reminding. Joy to you, and we'll see you again tomorrow for Yogananda Ji's Whispers from Eternity. Happy birthday. I should have had a candle handy if I thought of it ahead of time. Blessings to everyone. And we hope to see you tonight at our program for Yogananda's birthday at 7 p.m. online. You can find it on our website. And again, a special Sunday service